पर हम गुफ्तगू कर रहे थे एंड वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट द इंपॉर्टेंट रिजल्ट्स व्हिच विल कम इन फ्रंट ऑफ अस इन फरवरी. कई एनालिस्ट कह रहे हैं कि इट इज गोइंग टू बी अ मिक्स बैग. दे आर बुलिश ऑन ओएमसीज. सीएनबीसी के जो कंसेंसस के मुताबिक है, ओएमसीज पे अच्छे एक्सपेक्टेड हैं, रिफाइनरी सेक्टर से बहुत अच्छे रिजल्ट्स एक्सपेक्टेड हैं और ऑयल एंड गैस एक्सप्लोरेशन कंपनी से बहुत अच्छे रिजल्ट्स एक्सपेक्टेड हैं. द रेस्ट ऑफ द सेक्टर्स देयर माइट बी अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ सैचुरेशन इन अर्निंग्स. व्हाट इज बीएमए फोरकास्टिंग फॉर दिस क्रूशियल मंथ?
I think you're right. We are equally bullish on these sectors, and not just in terms of immediate results, but also strategically. क्योंकि जो particularly जो E&P sector है, that is not linked to your domestic economy. So that is why we like that sector a lot. Refineries or OMC, particularly PSO. I think will post very good results, and will continue to see good growth in the medium to long term as well. I think overall जो हम earnings growth देख रहे हैं for 2008 is in the region of around 12%, which is I think quite respectable. Some of the sectors like banking जिनके 2007 के results में one-off non-cash flow hits आएंगी, उसकी वजह से the 2008 numbers will look much prettier. But that doesn't take away from the fact that there is growth in the sector that is taking place, but it is exposed a lot more to domestic economy risks, like cement and banking.
That's interesting. Like I mentioned earlier, एक mix bag is expected है. We were talking about interest rates earlier और banking sector पे आपने अपने BMA के जो interest rate scenario पर भी एक forecast की थी after the monetary policy came out. Recently there have been a little bit of changes taking place in the banking sector. जो latest State Bank of Pakistan के numbers हमारे सामने आए. मैं आपको जरा बता दूं कि consumer financing में 42% का plunge हमको नजर आया है, auto financing के numbers में कमी हमको नजर आई है, और जो current spread है उसमें भी हमको उतना ज्यादा इंक्रीज नहीं नजर आ रहा जितना नजर आता था. So the financing is declining and the spreads sometimes seem to be correcting themselves. तो इधर थोड़े से फंडामेंटल चेंजेस हमको नजर आ रहे हैं बैंकिंग सेक्टर में. क्या प्रोस्पेक्ट है अभी भी एज एन इन्वेस्टमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटी?
I think I would not say that these are fundamental changes. These are cyclical changes, and we've had a cyclical growth in the consumer financing sector for the last 5-6 years. And these things, as you know, always do go in cycles. So we will see a slowdown in cycle with the increased interest rate environment, as well as the uncertainty, the macro level uncertainty that Pakistan has gone through, and that should not come as a surprise. But we do not foresee that the consumer financing here is going to see a secular decline. I mean, we are still very much, it's just taken off. There is, a long way to go for consumer financing, not just for auto and other consumer durables, but in things like mortgage financing. So yes, I mean, we may see a near-term slowdown in it because of all these factors, but the secular growth in consumer financing is still very much there. Net overall, obviously, banking sector is still seeing a growth in credit expansion. And there are different sectors like SME, etc. May take the lead at this stage. So different segments, different industries, go through different cycles. But overall, the growth in banking sector and in credit expansion is still there. I think margins may come under a little bit of pressure. I don't think the 50% discount rate increase will be fully passed through in terms of higher borrowing costs. So I think the banks will absorb, something of that increase. Yeah, but at the same time, we are still seeing good deposit growth as well. So there is no shortage of liquidity in the system either.
Yeah, काफी bankers ये भी कहते हैं कि lendings में correction तो due थी. स्टेट बैंक गवर्नर ने भी इसके ऊपर पहले काफी कंसर्न पेश किया था और डिपॉजिट्स को इंक्रीज करना was eventually inevitable for the industry to be solid and consistent in the long run. Just moving on and coming back to the capital markets, banking sector has been one of the leading sectors in the capital markets and has given great returns to investors. सिचुएशन थोड़ी सी बदल सकती है 2008 में. काफी लोग यही डिबेट कर रहे हैं कि 2008 में इन्वेस्टमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटीज कहां नजर आ रही हैं. इज इट बिकॉज ऑफ द अनसर्टेनिटी? इज इट टाइम टू गिव अ सीरियस लुक एट द लॉन्ग टर्म पेपर for fund managers moving away from the capital markets, which might not give that good a return? Is it time to look at other investment opportunities in the country, particularly for उन लोगों के लिए जिन्होंने capital markets में significant returns बनाए हैं in 2006, 2007, and always look to make a return which is higher than opportunities which are standardly available?
Every investor should have a diversified portfolio according to their own circumstances and risk appetite. And any portfolio, should have some investment on the fixed income side as well. I think right now, because of the macro level uncertainty, yes, probably investors, if they want to invest 100 rupees in equities, maybe I think should not be perhaps fully invested to that extent, but certainly an exposure of 50 to 60% of their total appetite should be there in the market, because the market is quite well positioned in terms of earnings growth and valuations.
Farrukh Khan Saab, CEO BMA Capital, thank you very much for joining us from your office. Always a pleasure.